Real ones know what that means. What up, though, homie? I don't like your energy today, my nigga. What's good? What's good, homie? You feel like you got something like what's cracking, homie?
What's happening?
What up, man? I feel like you need a friendly or something. You still got a little animosity, bro.
10 West Beats.
Shout out Beast Style. He said he was laughing at one of our shits just today and shit.
I bet he was. I bet he was.
Yeah. So.
All right, so caskets, right? Caskets.
Let's talk caskets. So, I mean, I'll let you go because you brought it was your theory.
Being that we're in a capitalist society, you could save a lot of space if you buried people vertically. My man's 210 felt otherwise. That it's the same space. I think if you line them up vertically, you saving space and you can make more money off them dead bodies. The floor is yours.
So essentially you're saying we have this box right here, right? And we have 120 sticks. You're saying if we were to line the sticks up going this way, right? We're going to have less space. We're going to have more space in the box after we line these up versus stacking them down. And that's just giving these people an example because we talked about this earlier. Now, I think that laying them down flat is a more efficient way and save a lot of space because once you start stacking up, you're going to run out of waste. You're going to run out of space going up.
We're not stacking up though. It's just one layer. You don't stack when they're laid out. You don't lay another body under or over.
See, I think you're proving my point even more because what I thought you were talking about was stacking them on top of each other. But if you're just going one across each other, it's never gonna. You're gonna run out of space. It definitely won't work.
All right, I'll do a tutorial.
Okay, that would be dope. So for people who may not have understood what we said, what we're saying is if you take his actual.
My theory is if you bury the bodies vertically, you're gonna have more space. So instead of 6 feet horizontally, it's vertical. So I can put you next to another nigga. But if you vertical, it's 6 feet apart.
Now, can I tell you why? What I'm telling you is that pretty much no matter what, people come in different heights, right? You might have a 7-foot nigga, you might have a 4'2", 5'1".
Cool.
But everybody laying flat is almost pretty much going to be the same size at dead weight. Right?
They're still 7 feet horizontal.
But what I'm saying is you can rest assured that you're going to get an even line going down this way. But when you're going this way, it's going to be weird, bro, especially if you're stacking on top. See, when we talked earlier, I thought you were talking about stacking on top. So this kind of changes my definition of what we're talking about a little bit.
Stacked on top. Even today, we don't stack people on top of each other unless you're like in a mausoleum or, you know what I'm saying, one of them joints. But in the ground, that's what I'm saying.
I get it. Well, we'll see that tutorial. Now, anybody else who's out here, I would love for them to chime in on it and let us know what they think on that right there. The brand music group, 210 West ENT, Problematic, just shouting that out.
What I look like on the phone? I'm straight.
It looks, yeah. I mean, it's not as clear, but yesterday, you had a pretty shitty. Yesterday, your shit was pretty shitty. If you watched it or not.
Were you in the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, with that bootleg ass Wi-Fi.
How would that affect my shit though? I'm talking about the playback.
Affects both ends. My shit did it with yours.
This nigga blaming shit on me. See, that's definitely what's wrong with black people. That's absolutely what's wrong with black people. Niggas blaming shit on each other. That's fucked up. Anyway, I want to get on a more serious topic. I sent you a link. I sent you a link yesterday or the day before, but it was yesterday. Dwight Howard's son did a heartfelt message video to his father, screaming for attention and time. So, boom, 12-year-old son. Do you think that was all him, or do you think mom had something to do with that?
I felt like that was 99% mom. That sounded like toxic mom.
Okay, so, and let's go a little deeper because I grew up with both my parents in the household, so I don't know the baby daddy, like, I don't know that shit from a child's point of view, right? I knew it vicariously through other friends and shit, that I had. But you, a 12-year-old boy, I don't know if you want everybody to know your situation, your business, how you grew up. But
I'm an open book.
What'd you say?
Open book.
I can't hear you.
I'm an open book.
Okay, well, from what I understand, your father wasn't around at that particular age of 12. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. So, how'd you feel? Like, did you feel anywhere towards what the young man said? And before we get to that, what I want you guys to know, if you guys haven't watched it, he basically said that his dad hasn't had time for him in the last 6 months, and when he calls him, he's too busy, and he hasn't seen him, and all he wants is his time, something along those lines. Just basically just some shit that a baby mama would say. You know what I'm saying? So now just so they know what it is. So how did you feel at that time without your father being around?
My situation wasn't that situation. My dad wasn't around. My dad left at the age of 6. And I remember, like him saying he was gonna come by, me looking out the window, doing all that shit, and being disappointed. But my mother never spoke down on my dad. So she never put nothing in my ear, and I remember that vividly. You know what I'm saying? She didn't do that. And what I heard from him was that, because I've heard that from other kids, just shit I grew up around. But yeah, that's a mother putting that in her child's ear.
So let me ask you a question. When it came time for you saying something negative about your dad, did she stop you in your tracks, or did she let you get it out?
When I got older, it was me. You know what I'm saying? It was my feelings. So she didn't stop me because it was my experience. I wasn't regurgitating shit she had said or nothing. It was all like, damn, this nigga don't, don't fuck with me like he fuck with the other kid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it wasn't that. So what I hear that kid saying sounds like a lot of what he's heard or picked up.
And I'm asking this because I talked to my older brother recently. I told you we got different mothers. So my father wasn't 100% aware of him when he was born. Found out about him years later on after he came from the service. But the family knew, they all knew his family, they all knew who the dad was, right? They even called my brother little, my dad's name or whatever. So I talked to my brother about it recently, how he felt about not growing up with my pops. And he said, nigga, like, so, and I'm asking this because he don't got no resentment towards my pops, is what I'm saying. But he said, nigga said he was like 8, 9. He said they called him in the room one day, like, your dad was on the phone. He said, like, who? He said he ain't never heard shit about a nigga before. Like, you know what I'm saying? He said, like, he said he didn't want to talk on the phone. Like, I don't want to talk on the phone. Like, I don't know who it is. And then eventually he came to stay with us and shit. But I asked him, he said it was never no negativity towards my dad from them. You know what I mean? They never said nothing negative about my pops at all. In fact, I hope my stepmother ain't watching this, but in fact, when I went to go visit my brother and his mom with my father, my father and his mother, nigga, saw each other after the 20 years and like fell back in place. You know what I mean? Where they left off at. It was a trip. So my point is, I guess you're right. Yeah, some mothers not gonna be feeding that bullshit to the children. I guess it's possible. Not likely, but it's possible.
Yeah, they got money involved. There's ulterior motives involved with them. So it's different dynamics. But my mother made a point to not speak ill of my dad, and I respected that growing up because she could have said a lot. Because I witnessed enough on my own.
So on another note, on that same situation about the little boy, Dwight Howard's son, you go through the comments, a lot of people saying, "Oh, bitch ass, gay ass nigga, woo woo." I want to know your opinion about the comments because they can be harsh, but also when it's uploaded to YouTube, it's for everybody, right? So what do you think about that? You think the little boy got a little bit of femininity in him. No
A-
sauce,
absolutely. He's sweet. He's sweet as Kool-Aid.
sweet as Kool-Aid, right?
To be objective, even in my own opinion, kids are off guard. I don't like the kids, but yeah, the nigga seems sweet. He out there in public, in the public, so it's like, yeah, I have my opinion, but do I judge the kid? No.
But it definitely seemed like he hanging out with Dwayne Wade's son, though, right? Like a lot of similarities and shit, and it just seems so scripted. And it's like the whole world knows Dwight Howard been in the bubble for 90 days, right?
Right.
The shit's unfair, damn near unfair at the same time too. But I don't know the whole situation, so it's difficult.
As far as what?
To know how what it is, and I think then also to preface it, if you watch the video, if you guys go back and watch it, you hear the little boy talk about Dwight Howard hanging with David this, David that. So for you guys who don't know, in April, Dwight Howard had one of his 5 baby mamas passed away, and he inherited, taking care of the little boy full time. So it seems like it's a little bit of jealousy over there too, because he's saying, when I call you, you say you're playing video games with David, and you'll call me back. And I think that's also affecting the situation though too, right? But go back to what you're saying about which mother wants the son to have a relationship, genuinely wants him to have a relationship, right?
And that'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when my dad spent time around his other kids, I felt some type of way, when I was young. So that can initiate those kind of feelings.
The same thing with 50 Cent. I'm sure his older son gets jealous of seeing the relationship 50 got with the little one.
Yeah, absolutely.
What he don't realize is he was that same little kid. He was on the cover of the album too. You know what I mean? He was right there too.
Correct.
But shit, life changes it. But so I look at it this way, and I'm a father. I know you're not a father, but I look at it this way. You got 3 different kind of fathers, right? You have the one who's financially there. You got the one who is physically there. Then you have the one who's physically and financially and mentally there. Everything, right?
And you got the one who's not there. There's 4.
But they ain't fathers. That's why I'm saying fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying father, but you're right. 4 kind of fathers, right? But I'm talking about niggas who are actual fathers, present in one way, shape, or form or the other. So the reality is not everybody's gonna get both, right? You can get, like we talked about earlier, Doc Rivers talked about his son. Like, he said he didn't really grow up with his dad, but Pops was paying the chip for him to go to that private school and, get this education and this basketball training, right?
Right.
So I think the more wealthier the fucking father you have, the less likely you're gonna be able to get both of them niggas, right? Because he got to go get that real bread.
I think it's circumstantial, but I feel where you coming from.
And then you some niggas just can't get the bread. They don't know how to get to the money, or they just not in the situation because of their criminal background and past, but they are present fathers. You know what I'm saying? They do what they can, whether they walking their son to the bus stop or walking their kid to school, whatever it is, right? And you got the nigga who's able to do a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? So It's not always gonna be peaches and cream. I think, and I hate to say it, I think as Black people, we should be fortunate if we even have one of those 4 fathers, one of those 3 fathers. I take it back.
Sadly, yeah.
Sadly, so a lot of these privileged kids really don't get it, man. Like, when you're a parent of a professional athlete, when you're the child of a professional athlete, sometimes you're just a number in the city. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, I think
your mother knew the risk, and your mother knew the risk when she took the chance.
We mentioned that with Doc Rivers, I believe, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Or Sean Kemp, remember?
Yeah.
Or Gary Payton. I don't know if you know Gary Payton got like 3 Gary Payton Juniors. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know Gary. I didn't know that about Gary Payton.
Yeah, in 3 different cities, because everybody wanted to make sure they locked it down. Like, nah, 2 of them made it to the league, but the niggas didn't hold on. But two of the actual Gary Paytons made it to the league, my nigga. Believe it or not. But that's how it goes. Niggas have kids. Dr. Dre had the one little chick that played tennis and shit, So JaVale McGee, his father was an NBA player, but he never got to grow up with him or meet him. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Rose. I don't know if you know the story about Jalen Rose. Yeah, his father, I think it was Jimmy Ray or something like that. Anyway, his father was the number 1 pick in the draft, right?
Oh, okay. His father. I thought you meant his kids.
No, his father. His father, like. So you know what I'm saying? Like it just happens. And Jalen Rose got the 4th father that you talking about, the nigga who never did shit, gave nigga but his genetics and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes that's all a nigga get is genetics, bro. If you make it to the league and make millions, you can at least thank a nigga for that, right?
I guess so. At least he paved the way for you.
Okay, so it is a 4th kind of father. The nigga who blessed you with millionaire genetics, then I guess you could say that guy.
The nigga that paved the way.
LeBron James, dad, whoever he is, nigga, he's a donor, nigga. That's it.
All right.
What else we got, bro? We almost at the 20-minute mark.
Shit. What else going on? It was the nigga in Philly that got lit up by the police.
I didn't see the video though. I still got to go back and watch that, so I can't speak on it yet.
I saw the video. They said he was wielding a knife, and I feel like we know what happens when we're wielding anything.
I feel like you know what happens if you raise your hands above your motherfucking head, nigga.
Right. I'm not saying it's justifiable. Like that's not a death sentence at all, but I think we know at this point like how that situation plays out.
We'll see. I'm gonna check the video. We can definitely talk about that tomorrow. When you get a chance to check the pod from yesterday, because I did that one on the computer and shit.
Okay.
But it was kind of a bad one because you know the quality wasn't that good. But you just let me know if you see it different.
All right, we gonna have to troubleshoot because I don't know why I did everything the same for the the laptop shit. So we gonna have to see.
And I'm gonna transition to the laptop too. Try to start tomorrow myself. So.
Okay, well we'll just troubleshoot and go from there.
I'm gonna have to go get me an intergalactical, astronomical webcam myself, nigga, so I can fuck with you. Could try to stun on the nigga. I didn't like your demeanor with when you got the webcam, my nigga. It was kind of ugly, nigga. You was acting kind of funny and shit, nigga.
Oh, you a hater?
Nah, you was acting kind of funny. You was wrong. You
a hater. Like we in this together. You like, oh, this nigga acting funny.
He was acting funny, my nigga.
Quality. It's for us.
You was acting funny. You see what I got this Wi-Fi now, nigga. I don't hear nothing no more, nigga. Now you having the issues, nigga.
Bro, look, hands up, don't shoot.
Okay.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Okay. Like and subscribe.
The Unaspiring Rapper Podcast.
Unaspiring Rapper Podcast is MCA the Snitch. You already know.
West Beats.